Hey, good evening. Well, I've missed you for a start, but how do you miss invisible people? Hey, it's Mr. Invisible, otherwise known as, 10 minutes. And here we are. It's the 3rd of February in the evening, about 7:30. Beautiful, clear evening here on the Algarve. Stars. I've got Orion right above me. Absolutely beautiful is this life. Absolutely beautiful is this gift that you have, that I have. Every breath. You want a miracle? You got it. 3rd of Feb. Yeah, not spoken to you for a bit, have I? Oh, goodness, I better catch up. And my last one, it's nearly a month ago, huh? And it revolved around, as I remember, explaining my temporary absence. It's not an absence. I ain't gonna know it. I'm here every second of every day. But an absence of this. A simple ability to talk to you in a calm, honest, and authentic way. A human being, when they cannot sleep, is not as calm as and authentic as they could be when they can sleep. And that is the trouble I've had. Getting like minutes, just that dropping off and then waking up, and occasionally a good night with a couple of hours sat up in a chair and my head propped up, and it's like, yes, I got 2 hours. And the relief, the gift of sleep. Honestly, although we need to wake up, I don't think there's a better gift than sleep. It's so beautiful to let go, to dream, to enter the infinite part of us, the subconscious, or the infinite. You work it out. I don't give a beat. All I know is that threshold is of the utmost importance. You must cross that threshold regularly. Good news. I'm getting better. Not thanks to the doctors, by the way. So, doctors, I'm going to fix it. I ain't going into the details of what's going on, but I'm sorting it. And it's a shock to see, the help I went to try. I've seen 4 doctors, 4 triage nurses, and a good few others that were having a look at my poor, beautiful big toe. And the conclusions jump to. It's like, it happened around me as well with the people in my life. Everyone's a lot quicker to jump to the fact that it's like, here goes Tim. It's a heart, it's his aorta. He's got this. It's his heart, it's his this, it's his that. My entire body is doing really good, thanks. And I've got a very, very, one of the most painful things going on my big toe. kept telling everyone that, but it's like, it's this. This is the problem. No, it's not. When I asked, yeah, but okay, so you've given me another idea. Will it get better? No, it cannot get better. You are going to deteriorate, possibly lose a toe, a foot, a leg, and that's that. There's no getting better. Nothing you can do. Well, I'd just like to say to you doctors there, beep you, you know. I've got my circulation back. My foot is no longer cold. I'm working on my toe myself. It is gruesome. I don't enjoy it. But Saturday night, 8:30 p.m, for the first time since the 9th of flipping December, I managed to lay down for more than a few minutes. Because every time before that, I lay down and it would just erupt, the pain. I lay down. About 8:30 on Saturday, I didn't get out of bed, apart from briefly, till about 8:30 the next morning. It was the best thing that's happened to me for a long time, man. It was so good. And then the following night, last night, I managed again to lie down like a normal person. Just as much as sleep's important, I got a feeling just lying down for some time per day is important. And I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to sit still. Anyway, clearly I needed to talk to someone about that. Look, what forced me here to talk to you is, as ever, that complete, beautiful desire to talk to you. Plus, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Not just on my film, but you know, the stuff in this world, this illusion, this ever-changing tapestry has got a little bit dark. And, oh, goodness me, I don't want to get into it. No, there's a lot to be said. You know, this is wake-up time, guys. I want to bring some light to this now. I happen to know I'm capable of that. The avenues, open or closed to me, is my perspective. The truth I want to get closer to is my passion. And yet it seems to push people away. But I got no choice here. I'm on a road, a journey of understanding that is far bigger than any of the little dramas that I have the choice to look at or not. And that becomes the filter we need, guys. The children, the champions, you need this. You need to filter. It is blinkers on. Because the manipulation of your minds has never been more active. It's always been there. But I say we're ramping it up here. Why? To be forced to show their hand in the darkness. So limited and yet so powerful. Light is so unlimited and infinitely more powerful. And yet, if you don't shine that light, if you don't step into that light, then the darkness can have a real runaround. And without going negative or playing too much ping pong, I would like to draw our collective attention to the President of the United States, Elon Musk, and his little bitch. Take a dump. Now, if I am judged on the choice of my words when I speak about such darkness, then I probably won't be talking to you. But this has gone too far. This is darkness of another level. This man doubled his wealth. He is the richest man on earth. Doubled his wealth since the election. He has stepped into a position that I think we need to actually wake up to. And to be honest, fight. There is a stand-up time here. He stepped into a position, utterly unelected, where he has taken over the reins of the federal government, the payment system, even of his rivals. And he's in a position to remove all regulation and do what he wants. Sounds like Trump's wet dream. You're nowhere near. You're not intelligent enough. You're not even the vice president. Yeah. No, we're playing with peeling husk now. And I think there really does need to be some waking up here. I cannot believe that so much darkness could be accepted. And yet it is. Now, it is not my role to explain darkness to you. That is not a conversation. If you don't know that darkness, if you can't see it, then we will, I guess, probably never be having a conversation. If you can't see this, then you want to see that. This is a split, a dangerous split. And yet, always, that light exists. That I, in my weakness, look at that. And it affects me. It affects you. We must be informed and not overwhelmed. But then at the same time, that's part of the problem. That we don't stand up. That we are forever manipulated and oppressed. By this game that they're all playing now. The Emperor's clothes. Who's going to be the one to point out, hey, we can all see it. But who's going to have the courage? It must be collective. Otherwise, I don't know where this is going. And that scares me. And yet I live in this beautiful bubble. And I will continue to live in this beautiful bubble. It's just so sad to see such an agenda played out with the support. Well, in this case, and I'll come back to you, the Church of Q, with the support of the church. You go ahead. You do what you need to do. But there are certain things that can't occupy the same space at the same time. Love and hate is kind of one of them. And I don't know where you've gone. It's like I've lost a lot of people here. Lost a lot of people that I did not intend on losing. Evangelist, I was right there for you. Now, there's a very thick veil between me and you. Christians en masse in the States. Well, I'm not stupid. I got to be discerning. So I'll focus on the Christian nationalists. There's a very, very thick veil between me and you now. Who am I talking as? I am talking as the builder of my life, of my dream, that I want to share with every living being and everything. I am not against you, I am for you. How do you tell a friend that's just walked away from you to come back? What are you doing? What do? You have to shout. They're walking away. You have to say, hey, what the beep are you doing? Can you not see? Have you no brain? Have you no heart? And that friend's gone. They're kilometers down the road, running with their ego, knowing they are right. And I have nothing to say to you. Perhaps you are. Perhaps it's true. All this propaganda since 2016, 15 and before. Perhaps it's true. But I've watched this. Brexit. Same energy, same propaganda, same architects. Zuckerberg, Musk. The architects of distraction. Brexit has been fascinating to watch. But it's so down to this manipulation of social media. It's like you got all these people. 30% are going to go one way, 30% go another way, 30% are going to do shit. And then you've got this middle bunch. It's what? 10%. Are completely swayable. And over these years on Facebook, I have friends. I had friends, there you go. I had friends that suddenly you're chatting with them. They might be into crystals, yoga, and then suddenly they're like, but Putin's the man and we're going to build concentration camps in the States. I've heard this for 8, 9, 10 years from these people that think they're enlightened. The kings of conspiracy. Who wrote this story? And yet here we are, a shock to say the least. On the eve of just that, if we are not careful. How can so much love be invisible to me or you? How can so much truth be invisible to me or you? How can we blindly accept lies and ignore the simple truth? Is it easier? It's not easier. Look what's happening. This is not going to be easier than what I'm offering you. It's not. It's going to be way harder. And you know what? I commit. I will still be there if God wills me to be. I will still be offering this. But I've got a feeling that veil's going to get very thick for some of you. And I don't want it to, because that makes the veil thick for me. That's how it feels to me. Even though I'm driven to a point of, no, I need no one here. It is my connection with my teacher and my creator. That is it. But it's not. Because I love. If that was all that was important to me, then how can I look at the constellation of Orion and be moved? How can I look at a tree and be moved? How can I look at the dogs that I'm working at the moment, running around? Beautiful little dog Santiago rescued. He was beaten to shit. Now he's this little fat, lovely dog. How can I say he is not important to me? I can't. So yes, I run myself on a standard of remaining in that connection with a higher power that I have the complete privilege to occasionally, when by that grace, have a connection with. That's my success. And yet, how can that love not spill over? How can that love not be expressed? To understand where I'm coming from, oh my goodness. No wonder you've all kept your distance. Not many people want to hear what I have to say. And yet it's all I want to say. To bring light to darkness. To lighten this illusion. Come on. Of course it's an illusion. It changes endlessly. I could fly to another country now. I go to India right now. Oh, I would love to. Now, I would be in a very different illusion. There would still be some politics. There would still be this. I could still look at world politics, but I would still be in a very different illusion. I'd love to. My goodness, I love India. I was there when I was a youngster a few times. You're not going to it's a festival. It's just a non-stop festival. Most beautiful people on earth. There's not many other races that could be put together in such numbers and come out like they do. It's still an illusion. You go back through time. Go back 50 years, 500 years to any of these places, there would be politics, there would be interpersonal communication, all sorts of stuff going on. Relevant to the time. You could take it seriously then. And then it changes. We are ever changing. Change is here to stay. And what's behind it? What is ever present in that moment? Is that love. That unconditional love giving you an opportunity to even get a taste of this illusion, of this matrix. Just to get a taste is a privilege, and that's your life in this world. This is a privilege. You're very lucky. As long as you're lucky. But then to take that a step further and actually realize your position, your perspective. Each and every one of us uniquely placed to appreciate, to admire, to observe. And yet, if we're not careful, that most powerful, beautiful power that we have, all of us, will be hijacked almost immediately by the people around us, by the media. I mean, my goodness, by ourselves. You know, I like to think I'm all like, I'm not into social media and that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm well into YouTube. It's the only thing I do. I'm well into it. I like to think that I filter. But over these last couple of days, I've noticed a few thoughts because I ain't filtering properly. Oh, this is a rambly one, but you know what? I so needed it. It's been quite a few weeks. One of the things I said before was I want to take responsibility for my connection with those that wish any sort of connection with me. Remember, I ain't pushing nothing here. This is, door's open. The door is always open to this church. And it must take us beyond our limits here, you know, because each and every one of us can be hijacked by the powers that be. And I know collectively we're waking up, but I hate seeing backward steps. That makes me want to give a few punches, play some ping pong, and yet that's the very energy that will continue that energy. I can't give that energy, and I bloody well could. But what we must bring in a fresh energy, a loving energy. But we must also stand strong. So please, politicians on the left, don't go quiet now. This is the time to stand up. Without a doubt. Because every day we're quieter in this game of mass distraction. The kings of lies playing that magic trick. Saying, oh, look here, and then playing some little game with voter registration that the Democrats will never be able to get into power again. Ever. If you're not careful. Trump will never leave, you know. He's either going to become a wax dummy or immortal. And to be honest, in my story, I've kind of already immortalized him. There's how not to be. There's how never to be. A pure example. Whoops, went back there again. Right, got 7 minutes left here. To come back to that, what drove me, the desire to bring some light into a dark time. For you, for me, I'm being selfish. I need to be. We all need to be in that way. It's not a selfishness, but a grounded in yourself. Know your value, and do not let anyone question it. There's no our value now on this planet that there are far, far, far more conscious people than these noisy idiots. And that is exactly what they are, and always have been. It's the only way you can get in that club, bro. The only way you can stay there. And I know of a greater club. The big club. Of loving, desiring to be better, lifting and inspiring others, individuals. The simple desire to give positive light in this world. And to accept positive light in this world. What else are we here to do? I recommit myself to that. And here we are once again, meeting in the secret place. Bit dark today, isn't it? But once again, in moving closer to what I'm certain of. A balancing point, the fulcrum of all this. A coming together. And a trust in that journey, in that excitement, in that hope. With no expectation. A surrender, a flow. You see what a couple of nights good sleep can do to you? Oh, it freaked me out, guys. And to feel that again. It never left me. I've got a beautiful default setting going on. That reboot each day. Almost all the time. It's brilliant. I love it. Can it be refined? Yes. Can it be made ever more focused and clear? Yes. And there's the hope and excitement that failure is there failure. Only if you've got expectation. My dreams, my desires, my absolute yearning to be with the ones on the same wavelength. That's with me all day, every day. And yet it becomes more of a certainty and not a lack. That my distance from you is utterly irrelevant, inconsequential, and, to be honest, not true. That back to that, screw time. I'm already with you. This is where I live. That's the trust I live in. As soon as I put specifics on that, gone. I must remain in that. That's surrender. But with an active love. To be proactive. And that's what gave me the courage to just talk to you. It's all I want to do, and I feel so blocked and it's so odd. And I'm not. Those avenues are open. And so I wanted to reopen this dialogue with the universe, with you, and my wild bait. I ain't letting you off the hook, Hope paradise is nice, 21 degrees all the time, all day buffet. I reckon you could have more fun having a wander around here with me for 5 minutes. But hey, see what happens. Paradise isn't barred from me either, by the way. They've realised that I'm allowed in paradise as well. So who knows? There are no limits. I got like a minute. I'm looking at a little clock on my phone. I got a minute left. And I ain't giving up. I don't want you, any of you that have listened to me and understand my story just a little bit, don't want you ever giving up. You hold on to that blanket of love. It is wrapped so closely around you, you are unaware. It will never go. It will never leave you. But why not acknowledge it? Why not accept it? Why not just go, fuck, I've got a blanket of love. Hey, look, I gotta go, got a second. Love, light and hope from Mr. Invisible.